Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
So everyone's so worried about insurance. It seems like that's, it used to be when you would go to the theater, you'd enjoy the theater. But now everyone wants to talk about what kind of insurance are they going to get? What are the differences? And so I have an expert, Rick JULTAK, Rick JULTAK, who's the managing partner, Apple Insurance and Financial Services. It's really one of the top Florida Blue agencies in the state of Florida. And you, as you were just saying before you got on the show, you spend a lot of time planning, and then you have a small space to actually get people lined up and signed up, right?
Correct. We have open enrollment for the public is about 60 to 90 days. For us, we have about 120 days to run it, and that leaves us about 8 to 9 months to plan it and get ready for the next year. It doesn't stop for us.
Yeah, I gathered that. Now, you've been in the insurance business a long time. This hasn't always been the case, has it?
No, this is over the last couple of years, the last 4, 5, 6 years maybe already, but it used to be where you turn 65, you get a lot of emails, you get some letters from other insurance companies, you make some phone calls, you do your due diligence, and that's that. Nowadays, it doesn't matter how old you are, you have a window of opportunity to select a plan for the upcoming year, which is called an open enrollment plan. And they pretty much keep that window of opportunity rather small. And the reasoning behind that makes sense to most, but it still doesn't make it easy. But we're still around all year to help people get ready for it if it's something that causes stress. We're around 24/7, 365, and we can help people for that.
So, Rick, you have so many sales reps. That must be a big thing for management, which, of course, you're one of the owners. Or you are the owner, or one?
No, I'm one of two.
Okay, one of two. So now, who manages all your sales reps? You?
Me.
Oh, my heavens. All right. How do you keep them occupied and moving along?
Well, again, open enrollment is where the volume comes for people that want to opt into new insurances or change their existing plans, which is the majority of people. But there's still business and opportunities for people to get insurance throughout the year. Open enrollment just applies to health insurance, and that's your standard individual policies, under 65, over 65. But throughout the year, if you have group insurance, you could change that pretty much whenever you want throughout the year. People moving to Florida, people with change of circumstances could also change their insurance. If somebody's going through a divorce, if somebody's getting remarried, somebody has a child, if somebody loses a job, those are all reasons to they get what's called a SEP, which is a special enrollment period, and they're able to do that throughout the year. And in Florida, there's so many people out there that we're pretty much we're busy throughout the year, and then but open enrollment is pretty much that's like the cattle call. We probably do about 60% of our new sales business in 60 days.
I can hardly believe it. But let's go through. Then everyone knows about, of course, getting the health insurance, the Medicare health insurance. But let's go through all those other insurances you just talked about. So let me tell everybody you're listening. You can hear how enthusiastic he is. He never stops, and it's true. Rick JULTAK is the managing partner from Apple. I love that name. Apple Insurance and Financial Services, Inc. It's one of the top Florida Blue agencies in the state of Florida. Let me give you a way to get in touch with him. It's easy, appleinsurance.com, appleinsurance.com, or go on their phone. Just call them at 954-580-8100. Again, 954-580-8100. So in answering that question, and before you even answer, I have a question. Did you invent the name Apple Insurance?
Yeah, we came up with Apple. I came up with Apple about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when we were trying to figure something out we don't want it to be generic because we're a blue agency. So it's like Florida blue. Everything is blue. But Apple, we figured, an apple a day. Apple's healthy. So we figured. But outside of the health insurance, I mean, that's the other part I didn't get to. But we do everything. We're a one-stop shop. We have homeowners insurance, auto, life, annuities, long-term care, disabilities. I have specialists in every area. We have about 120 agents right now, and only half of those are health. The other half are homeowners, auto, life, and they're all specialists in their field.
Well, right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. But because we're a brick and mortar, and we just moved to a new. We're still the number you gave. We're still in Fort Lauderdale. We have been, and we will be. But we moved our corporate headquarters to Boca this last year, and we took over a floor on a beautiful building. It's 7,000 square feet, and it's right on Military Trail in Boca. That number is 561-614-2400 for anybody that's in North Broward County through Palm Beach, and we're surprised by how many people actually want to come in and sit down and have a face-to-face appointment. Pleasantly surprised, but that's what we've been busy doing the last 4 months.
Of course, and a cup of coffee.
Absolutely. They can have
and an apple. Wait, do you have apples there too? Don't you have apples?
We have. It's funny. We have apples, but we have an espresso machine, so they can even have a cappuccino with an apple.
With an apple. Well, it's funny, and you talk when I was asking you about the name because it's so easy to remember, and I send a lot of people. I send them bushels of apples, not real, but I put them into my emails, and I said it's healthy. Eat them, right?
Apple a day, right?
That's right. That's true, though. If you look it up. Well, let's now get into the different kinds of insurance. Boy, you have so many. So do your specialists, when they decide that they're going to handle, let's say, flood insurance or something specific, do they have to have special training to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. When we were exclusively health for the first 7 years of business, 8 years. And then when we decided that we needed to get into health, the homeowners, auto, property and casualty, that stuff, that was because of a demand. Our clients were asking us, why don't you sell us? We want to deal with you. Mm-hmm. So rather, to build up that type of business homeowners could take 10, 15 years to know what you're doing. We don't have 10, 15 years. So what we did was we went out and bought a company that had 30 years. Oh. One of the leading companies in one of the original State Farm agencies in South Florida. His son came over to us, and we bought them out. So now we have a home. I tell this to people. We're new into the PNC as far as Apple goes, but we didn't just tread in. We dove in. We brought on agents that have 20-plus years experience, and there's nobody better. So there's no honeymoon phase of this insurance. We're all in.
I'd love to have you on the show because your enthusiasm just comes through the microphone. And I'm sure when people are listening now, even if they have insurance companies, they're going to cancel and come to you because insurance can be very dull and very scary and very confusing. But
absolutely,
I know it isn't in your company. You have this magic wand, I think, that says, okay, what do you want? And you don't even know what you need, and we're going to tell you, right?
Well, it's so funny. We tell everybody not to cancel until they meet us, until they speak with us, because if they have a policy that there's some people have policies that they're vested in, and they should never ever change. So if they have one of those policies, and we come across them often, we'll tell people you have a great policy, do not change it. But you'd be surprised how many people out there want to make a quick buck, and any agent could talk a consumer out of a product if they know what they're doing, and we make sure not to do that. If they're in a product that's good for them, we'll tell them to keep it. Come back next year, we'll look again. But right now, doing the best scenario, you have a great policy, and my guys know to walk away.
Well, because then the credibility's there, and there'll be other insurance that these people will buy, right?
Yeah, but we're not even worried about that. We're worried about like what you just said, credibility.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes, and you do have that kind of reputation. I know when you were at the Boomer Expo, people just are so drawn to your organization like magnets. And that doesn't come casually. You know that. You know all the businesses that come in and go out. And you said how long have you been doing this?
I'm in the insurance business going on 19 years.
Huh?
I've owned Apple. I started Apple about 10 years ago. So I learned to trade for 10, and now I've been running it for 10. So we'll see what happens next, right?
Well, that's very funny. So, do you have a dog? Is it named Apple?
I have 4 dogs. I actually have 4 dogs, but the big one's Cody. He's on all our ads.
Oh, is that right? Is that your dog?
Yeah.
And what's his or her name?
Cody. He's a golden doodle. He's about 80 pounds, but he's a blonde, fluffy dog. So people aren't used to seeing somebody that size, that blonde. So every time we do an ad, if the dog's in the office, they bring him a lot.
Of course.
The photographers always ask me to put him in the ad, so I do.
Oh, it's very important. I always tell people if you have a child or you have an animal, put it in the ad because everyone loves them and attracts them. Okay. Well,
That's where the pet insurance comes in.
I know, right? Okay, so let's now talk about, we know that there are hurricanes out there, and is it too late for people to buy flood insurance or anything like that?
No, it's not. The only time it's too late to purchase a flood insurance or to upgrade their homeowner's insurance is when there's an imminent threat to the area, in which case there's something called a red cone that comes out, and all the insurance companies are notify their sales forces that we are in a red cone, which means there's an imminent threat, and then they freeze all policies. But it's not just for the insurance. That also the banks and everybody would do that. Like you wouldn't be able to close on a home, let's say on a Tuesday, if they're predicting a hurricane for Friday.
Wow.
But that's for everybody's best interest. That's why insurance is something you need before the problem, not during the problem and not after the problem.
Okay, so now let's get that into people are buying homes and they have a real estate agent, and if they're having a mortgage, most of the mortgagors, I guess it's called, they insist on insurance. So that's where you come in with your homeowner's insurance, right? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And if there's we call it an imminent threat because there's tons of cones, not to bore anybody. But when you hear on the news about these tropical storms brewing out, on the islands or coming from the east, they have these. They're called cones of possibility. And as they get closer and closer, they go from a dark green to a light green, almost to a yellow caution, to a dark yellow, to an orange, to a red. And what you are asking is, it is too late to purchase flood insurance. It's too late to upgrade your homeowner's insurance. It's too late pretty much to make any changes to your policy when those cones are from the yellow to the red, because that typically means within the next 72 to 0 hour, there's going to be either a hurricane, tropical storm, something that typically will enforce damages on the home. So the time to buy that type of insurance or to upgrade that type of insurance is generally not hurricane season. And if they waited too long and now they see this year is supposed to be a volatile year, now is the time to buy it because there is no caution flags up. But who knows in the next 10, 20, 30 days what's going to happen.
Okay, everyone, I hope you're listening. So hope you've been listening to. We're very fortunate to have Rick JULTAK with all his responsibilities. He has all these sales reps, insurance agents, but he's the managing partner. He's the big guy from Apple Insurance and Financial Services. And when you come to our expos, you'll see them. They're like the center court. I call that the center court at the Boomer Expo. And they are just so nice. You don't have to worry that they're going to talk to you and that they're going to mix you all up. They're clear. They're just perfect. I've never met an insurance company that I think is so good as they are. And so we're so happy to work with them. And now they're in Boca. And I'm going to give you that Boca phone number. They also have another office, but let's give you the BOCA number. It's 561-614-2400. 561-614-2400. So we're talking about windows of opportunity, really, for everything. So let's say that you have extra money. What would someone come into you and they're buying other kinds of insurance and all? What would they do to maybe increase their the monetary value of what they have, other than putting it underneath their mattress?
That's actually a good analogy.
Right.
But you'd be surprised how many people do that. They tell us, we have a fireproof safe in the closet. It's safer than the bank. But they don't understand that somebody could if they put the safe in, somebody could take it out. They don't remember that. But we have money we have money managers, we have market managers. That's not part of our insurance, but that is part of Apple. They're under us. They do investments. They do short-term investment. They do long-term investment. We're big believers in long-term care. For a lot of people that are going through this now with their parents, they understand the need for long-term care, because it's not the fact that you have 4, 5, 6 kids that my kids will take care of me. That's not the issue they're finding out. It's who's going to help you go to the bathroom, or who's going to give you a bath, or who knows the correct way to carry you from bed to chair. Those are long-term care people. And those are the ones that, those are the people that were fortunate enough, 15, 20, 30 years ago to purchase long-term care policies. And throughout the years, for people that waited, those great, fantastic policies, they're gone. We can't even sell them anymore. The policies nowadays are half as good as they used to be, but they're 200% better than those that don't have anything, and they're probably 100% better than they're going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. Again, like the early bird gets the worm on that, and the way the long-term care is set up, it doesn't pay to wait, because the price a 50-year-old is going to pay for it is half the cost of a 60-year-old. And considering the average claim, people go on claim between like 82 to 85. That's when they typically go on claim. You're going to pay, if you wait till 70 to buy long-term care, you're going to pay more before you use it than if you bought it when you're 60. And if you purchase it at 50, you'll be paid up and done before you're 60, and you'll have a lifetime product.
Oh, that's good. They never offered that before. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and the other thing is people are always worrying about what runs if I buy it and don't need it. They now have survivorship, where the money or the product will go to your surviving spouse or your kids.
That's great. Well, I'll tell you a little story, though. I'm so glad you talked about long-term health care. I just visited my grandson, who's taking care of his other grandmother, who's 101, and she's in Michigan.
Wow.
And the father must have bought long-term care insurance the grandfather, many, many years ago. And she lives in this very upscale community. She has Alzheimer's, and I think it's almost at $8,000 a month, actually. I mean, it's a lot of money because it's one of the very better ones. And so she's being taken care of beautifully because someone did this many years ago. Yep.
That's what it is. It's forethought, and people see it every day. They don't even know they're looking at it. For anybody that's in the Boca area, the Plantation area, Sunrise, even up in Lake Worth or Palm Beach, how many times do you go to lunch and you see these nurses going to lunch with these older people?
Yep.
And they're transporting them, they're helping them. Those aren't aides that come with health insurance. Those are long-term care nurses that are in addition to health insurance. So when you see these aides taking their clients to the doctors or helping them eat or just keeping them company at lunch or at the beauty salon or wherever, those are long-term care nurses that are prepaid. They're not being paid for the job. They've already been paid. They have these policies in effect already. And then the next question that everybody asks is, what happens if we have to go to a nursing home and I have to use my policy?
Yeah.
If you've ever been to a nursing home, and I have, and I'm sure you have, but
yes.
If you've ever been to a nursing home and you see some nurses there, and you ask them something, they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't work here. I'm from Mrs. Smith."
Right.
The long-term care policies will pay for private nurses inside the facility. So now not only do you have the facility nurses, you also have your own private that are just for you.
Yes, and that's so.
Those are big deals.
Yeah, big deals, because the nurses that are paid in a nursing home can never take care of everyone. But to have your own person there, that's wonderful. It's a good point that you brought that out. So they're always going to need someone. And you said something else, that these kids who are now in their 50s and 60s, they better think about it, because if they're going to live to be 100, and many will, they better have that insurance.
Yeah, and it's a safe investment. I mean, I'm 48. I purchased it 3 years ago. I probably should have purchased it at 40, because that's when you could start buying it. But I bought it at 45. I did a 3-pay. I'm done. If I go, God forbid, but we go belly up tomorrow, and we won't. But if we did, and the unthinkable happens, my policy's paid in full, in force. It's done. It's creditor-proof. It's debtor-proof. It's done.
Yeah, I have to tell you, you're one smart kid. And actually, you look younger than your age even. I thought, that what does your father do?
My dad's retired. He was an attorney, and he's in assisted living right now. And he did not have long-term care, and I wish to God he did, because guess who's paying for it?
I know, you.
Me.
You.
Yep.
and any of the assets he had. So you're a perfect case why people should really think about. Well, so let's look at the comprehensive idea. So if we have people listening who are saying, "Gee, I've been looking for a really good insurance agency because I have a lot of questions," if they went to you and you set them up, of course, with a sales rep, and they took care of certain kinds of things, and then they said, "Well, I think you should do this," and then they refer it to one of your other sales reps who are responsible in that area. I don't know if there are many agencies like yours that will take all this on. That's what I think. You're a rare bird here.
No, I appreciate it. Again, we're a full-service agency. We're brick and mortar. The way that if I wanted to make money in this business, and I was just into it because it was the trendy thing to do 15, 16 years ago, I would have done what most people do with insurance. They invest in leads, they get a call center, and they call people 24/7 around the country. We do not do that. We're brick and mortar. We actually have offices you can come into. You could shake our hands. You can meet us. You might not like us either. That happens too, But
have a cup of cappuccino and an apple.
Absolutely. And we're really. I'm trying to be that neighborhood agency, that Apple Insurance. My agents just work for me. They're captive. They're just Apple agents. So if you want health insurance, we'll go over every company in the world with you. We'll show it to you, but we sell Blue Cross Blue Shield. In Florida, it's Florida Blue. If they want homeowners, if they want PM, if they want auto, they want marine, they want pet, we'll give them what we're licensed with basically every carrier we could help them with on that side. If they wanted a little more concierge service and they needed an investor or a money manager, we have those. I have 2 money managers. That's it. Out of 120 agents, I only have 2 money managers. Both have 30-plus years experience in the market, both of which are only licensed with AAA companies. They're fantastic. Not aggressive. You're not going to get rich coming to me, but you're not going to lose money. You're going to be protected. And if you want to make a little bit conservatively, you will.
That's such good news, and I wasn't aware. I think last time we talked, I did find out you did a lot of other things, but I hadn't really honed in on what you just said. So it is what I said. I know you're a full service, but I call it comprehensive with kindness. There's it's so funny. We have an ad from a wonderful home health agency called Kindness at Home. I love that. So this is kindness at the Apple agency, right?
Absolutely. And if they're listening, call me. If they take Florida Blue and they actually, we interview home health care agencies, and if their standards, and they probably are going to be if you like them because you're a
yes.
character. If it's something that if we mesh and they hit our check marks, we'll refer to them. But again, we're picky only because our clients know us, they trust us, we see them eye to eye, and that's the only way we could do things. I have friends that want to work for me that I won't mention names, but I won't hire. I can't hire.
That's right. But you're smart. That's true. You're smart. You can't do it because one fly in the ointment, makes it very bad. We don't want to do that. Well, let me just give more information again. So everybody, get your pencils out. This is Pencil Talk Radio, and I'm really serious. I feel so privileged to have the wonderful Apple Insurance and Financial Services with Rick JULTAK, who is the managing partner, and it really, you talk about Florida Blue. Everyone knows that. I mean, everyone trusts it. My mother had it was called something else Blue. What was it before Florida Blue? It was
Blue Cross.
Yeah, Blue Cross. My mother died when she was, I think, she was 95, and she always had Florida Blue. She always had Blue Cross Blue Shield, and she loved it, and she never changed. She stayed with it because they were very good to her.
It comes down to network, and as the biggest network, it's competitive, but it's not for everybody. And if there's something out there that might be better for them, we'll tell them about it because that's our job.
What would make something better? I mean, why do people decide on this one or that one? Is it because of doctors?
Okay, that's actually a very good question. I'll dumb it down, but it's actually an excellent question. It deserves more time than this, but just for we're on a time constraint, and just so everybody could get the Reader's Digest version. There's two reasons that anybody would either change insurances or pick an insurance, and whatever's going through their heads, if they're able to break this down, this will make it easy. There's price and there's benefits, and it's that simple. If something is too expensive and they cannot afford it, there are insurance companies that are better than nothing, because if you cannot afford Blue, you cannot afford Aetna, you cannot afford Humana, whatever the company is, if money is the issue, we could show them other insurances that will help them.
Okay, and time is the issue.
Here's the but.
I have the cutoff, and we don't want to cut you out. So why don't we do this again? We just get you another one and do it, okay?
We'll do this again,
okay.
And we'll talk benefits.
Yeah, let's do that, benefits. Thank you so much, Rick. Bye.